Hello. In this tutorial, we will introduce the MISUMI linear motor actuator and walk you through the setup and trial run manual for the Panasonic servo drive using Panaderm software. Panaderm is the dedicated Panasonic servo drive software used with MISUMI linear motor actuators. It supports the pulse type as well as the ether cat type. You can download Panaderm from the MISUMI website. Once installed, connect your PC to the servo drive using a USB Mini 5-pin cable. Let's first log into the servo drive. When you run Panaderm, the initial screen will appear as follows. From here, the amplifier connection window will execute. Once the connected amplifier model is displayed in the list, please press the OK button. When the drive connection is complete, a series selection pop-up window will appear. At this time, select mine as a 6L linear and then click the OK button once more. If communication is established normally, the model number of the drive currently in use will be displayed in the upper left corner. If the communication connection fails, try changing the communication power source or check if the cable is properly connected. If it still doesn't connect, please turn the drive off and on again, and then try once more. Next, we will proceed with restoring the basic drive parameters. First, click Parameter in the starting screen, then click the Read from the File option in the Parameter Selection category, and then click the OK button to load the values stored in the drive. Now that the parameter file appears, select the pre-downloaded parameter file that matches the linear motor actuator series you are using. If the file is not visible, click the All Display button from the link to find and select the file corresponding to the respective series, and then click the OK button. In this video, we will load the file using the Pulse Series PA25 type as an example. Once the parameters are loaded, select the linear item under Classification 9. Then, verify in the right settings that the parameter values have been accurately entered. If the values are entered correctly, click the Transmit button, click the EEP button in the same window, and then click the OK button in the subsequent pop-up window to complete the save. If the values are entered correctly, click the Transmit button, click the EEP button in the same window, and then click the OK button in the subsequent pop-up window to complete the save. Afterward, once the pop-up window disappears, please turn the drive power off and then back on again. Now, let's check if the parameters have been properly downloaded. First, reconnect communication with the drive, and then click the parameter button at the top of the software. Next, click the Readout from Driver option, and click the OK button in the ensuing pop-up window to load the values stored in the drive once more. After loading, select the linear item under Classification 9, and verify in the right setting value rows that the parameter values have been entered accurately. Once the parameter settings are complete, we will now move on to the commissioning mode. First, check if the power cable and encoder cable are well connected, and move the linear motor actuator mover to the middle position. Next, click the Trial Run button located at the top of the software. Clicking the Servo Off button in the center of the screen will activate the Servo On button. Click this to activate the servo. For the jog driving configuration values, set the jog speed and acceleration/deceleration time to 50 each, uncheck the auto set, and input 115 for the overload level value. Once the settings are complete, pressing the counterclockwise icon will move the mover in the plus symbol, direction, and pressing the clockwise icon will move it in the minus symbol, direction. At this time, you can see the motor values changing in real time. Next, run Panaderm again and click the tuning button at the top. Set the measurement time to 5000 milliseconds, and press the Start Measurement button to check the current status. Execute the commissioning settings together to enter the values. Just like before, press servo off and then servo on, and uncheck the auto setting. After specifying the stroke using the positive and negative direction buttons in the jog window, click the Go Trials Run button. In this demonstration, we will set the movement amount to 200,000, waiting time to 2000, speed to 1, and acceleration/deceleration time to 500. Once the values are completed, click the Step Continuation button, then press the negative direction button to drive the linear motor actuator. Please repeatedly measure the settling time for the gain adjustment values depending on the usage environment. If the settling time satisfies the specifications, press the pause button and click to save the data. If the settling time falls outside the criteria, select one standard response mode under Mode Selection, then adjust the stiffness value under Stiffness Settings. Afterward, press the EEP button again to save. Increasing the stiffness improves responsiveness, but it may cause vibrations or noise. Lowering it increases stability, but responsiveness may degrade. Finally, there are cases where a drive alarm occurs during system operation. As an example, we will show you an encoder disconnection alarm. First, if a fault occurs, you can check the error code and details in the lower left corner. Please click the alarm button located at the top of the software for the detail. When a fault occurs, you can verify the corrective methods through the cause and troubleshooting actions shown in the right window. For other alarms and troubleshooting methods, please refer to the prepared Panasonic drive instruction manuals for the pulse type and ether type, respectively. Thank you.